Welcome everybody to this edition of Strong Perspective Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Keith Armstrong, along with my other hosts, Jaquari Armstrong and Damon Armstrong. Damon is going to be joining us pretty soon, but we had special guests tonight, Enoch Holloway and Christopher Dickens. Welcome, guys. Welcome to see you.
Welcome back
Hey,
and welcome.
Hey, thank you, fellas.
Pleasure. Yes, sir. Pleasure. Yes, sir. A pleasure to have you with us, man. Just we're starting a little early tonight because Mr. Dickens has some obvious things he needs to do, and we don't get in the way of that.
Right.
We don't
Some
get
marital duties.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I wanted him to get at least a 3/4 of the impact of what we're doing and how we are, and I want him to be able to voice his opinion and do what he does.
Facts.
First of all, let me start this. House cleaning. Strong Perspective Podcast. Go to our YouTube channel. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. We appreciate it because we're trying to look. We low key. We this is a nice little situation we got. So it's about conversation. It's about promoting the real conversation with people. Not saying everything else is fake, but sometimes if you get too much of something and not balance it out, then you get a lot of anxiety going on. Okay, tonight's subject is violence in our community. We want to chop it up a little bit about it, and then just to get everybody's opinion of what's going on. And also, I'm going to forego my segment until Chris leaves, and then we're going to go from there. Jaquari, how you doing today, brother?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm leaning towards the middle.
Oh, there he is, my man.
My dudes, what's going on, fellas?
Yeah.
What up?
Our brother on what the hell is that?
Is that your fan, my guy? If it is,
It
you're
sounds
gonna
like
have to sweat.
it sounds like a machine gun.
What's going on, Damon? How you doing?
I'm good, man. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I had to make sure I ain't have no technical difficulties.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah, no doubt.
That's right.
Okay, Jaquari, you caught us just in time, Damon. How you doing today, Jaquari?
I'm good, man. Everything seems to be in order. If I could get it out.
Technical difficulties.
I've been drinking, so I'm probably gonna be stuttering, yo.
Just listen. Don't let them know, man. But just let them know that it's artistic. It's artistic license.
I celebrate my flaws, brother.
I'm an actor.
Would you fuck off, Keith?
He said.
I drive better when I'm drunk.
Too early, man.
Who said that?
No, we need. Hey, go ahead. We don't need all that cursing. We need a couple more minutes out of you, brother.
He said I'm embracing my flaws, bro.
You're absolutely right, Keith. You're absolutely right.
Damon, how you doing today?
I'm all right, man. You know what, man? My granddaughter walked up to me, man, and she grabbed my hand and shook my hand and said, "Pleased to meet you."
Okay.
Wow.
And I said,
what was that about?
I'm gonna tell you, she just turned 2. I said, "Pleased to meet you. What's your name?" Ezra Ray.
Okay.
I said, "What's my name?" She said, "Grandma." I said, "Hold the fuck up."
Hey, man, give me one more minute, my guy. One more minute, man. Look, it's not bad. It's not bad so far, but when y'all get comfortable, y'all let the French just fly out.
Keith,
excuse me. We ain't on yet.
Keith, you did it 2
we
shows
are.
ago.
Yeah, we live.
We started early, dog.
Oh, we live?
Yeah, Chris.
Oh my God, man.
No, you fine?
Yeah.
You good?
Yeah, Chris.
Wow.
Chris has to leave at 8:00, so
I still have
we want him to get out here and do his thing. All right, well, friend of the show, Enoch Holloway, how are you doing today, brother?
Gentlemen, another beautiful day, man. Culmination of a beautiful work week. Just happy to be here with the Armstrong fellas, man.
No doubt.
Chop it up a little bit.
All right, new to the show. Welcome, brother. Christopher Dickens, how are you today, sir?
And I'm chilling. Just thankful to be alive. Made it through the week. I'm gangster. I was ready for this today.
Okay. Yeah. We usually get together. We usually get together on Thursdays, and pregame, so to speak. And we just chop it up. And Chris, I tell you what we're going to do. Since you got to leave early, we're going to cover we're going to cover the one little note that I sent you that you
Right.
wanted to address.
Right.
And I'm trying to think which one was it. Which
It
one?
was a bunch of them.
What was the first one? Because that was the one.
The first one, what we talking about this gun violence in our community. That concerns me on two fronts. One front is I'm a gun owner. I'm part of NAGA, which is the National Association of African American Gun Owners. And yes, I'm a part of the NRA. Well, I'm a member of the NRA. And I'm also African American. And I'm a second generation law enforcement officer. So it bothers me on two fronts. One, I was a property crimes investigator for about 4 or 5 years. People leave guns in cars, they get stolen, then they end up in crime. That's contributing to our demise. The second issue is I'm pro 2A. Yeah, you probably hear black man pro 2A. Yes, I'm pro 2A.
All right, well, hold on. Explain 2A so the folks will know exactly what you're talking about.
Okay, I'm sorry. Pro Second Amendment.
Okay.
I've had a gun in my house. My dad, let me back up, give you background for who I am. I'm from Detroit, Michigan. My father was a Detroit homicide detective. I'm a person crime detective here in Wake County. So guns have been in my family for a long time. But I'm of the mindset that if you teach a child how to use a firearm, teach them what the reality of a firearm is, then you build a responsible firearm owner, just like my father did with me. Okay. So I'm seeing a lot of violence, gun-related violence, school shootings. We thought we were done with Sandy Hook and all this stuff. No, it's becoming a trend. Durham, Raleigh, Charlotte. Nobody is out of touch with being struck with gun violence. And it hurts you on two fronts. One, you're targeting, and I have grandchildren. My grandson is 1, my granddaughter is 5 months. I'm looking at it from a different perspective as a grandfather. Neighborhood I live in, like the elementary school and the middle school. And if you're that sick in the mind to target children because you won't target adults who have the capability to defend themselves, I have an issue with that. So the gun violence is one thing. Seeing that I'm still active duty, I'm looking at a lot of our young brothers in jail for murder. And that bothers me. And like I said, I'm on the inside. You Enoch, Holloway, we don't work together. Y'all out of the game. I'm still in. So I'm bladed, but I lean towards respectful gun ownership, number one, and two, enforcement of the law. That's number two, because you can stop all this, but do they want to stop all this?
Okay, that's interesting. Let me. I have to, because we have a short time with you. When you say something, I want to emphasize what you mean. You said that it could be stopped if you want it. So what do you feel?
Well,
what is
number
your
one,
opinion?
What I'm saying is, if you got a case of homicide, okay, clear cut, you've done all your investigative portions. You got your suspect. Let's prosecute him. But they want to play with him. Hey, if you need to bring the federal government in, like they did in Durham, and they're starting to do here in Raleigh, let's do it. Let's send that message. Like, hey, you pull the trigger on somebody, and you got other variables in play, you're going to federal prison. Let's stop playing with these guys. If we stop playing with them, and I ain't talking about just African Americans, whites, blacks, Hispanics, whatever, because I've seen it from all aspects. Let's start prosecuting them federally and sticking that real time to them.
Okay.
Then once you get the feds in and start handing out real time,
You're muted again, Chris.
say again.
You was muted. So what was the last bit you just said?
Once you start getting all your resources, like the federal government, and they come in and start overtaking some of these cases and start prosecuting people on the federal level, all of this will stop.
Okay.
I guarantee it.
Okay.
Now, I'm not saying that it's a catch-all to end-all solution, but it will help. But then also on that, speaking on the other side, is that we need more programs for these young brothers to go to, because I'm starting to see younger and younger guys catching murder charges. But I do believe if they had something different beside the gang life, this, that, then they look forward to, then we could subject ourselves to all this violence. I mean, you're going to have it. You can't get rid of it, but you're going to have it. But
okay. All right. Well, Enoch.
Yes, sir.
I saw you processing it. Is there anything that you can add, or is there anything that you want to comment on what Chris said?
Sure. I mean, he made the comment that as it was a shock, or it could be a shock to some people, that he's pro 2A as an African American, and it shouldn't be a shock. I mean, we have the same rights as everyone else has. It should not be a shock at all that there's a black man who's in the NRA. That should not be a shock at all. Again, we are privy to the same rights that everyone else is privy to.
facts.
Without a shadow of a doubt. So I mean that shouldn't be any type of a shock to anyone. Shouldn't be. But but the NRA has proven themselves time and time again where they stand in regards to our communities.
Well, hold on, Enoch. If you go back further,
Let me finish.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, hold on, Chris. You will get your opportunity.
My bad.
Don't cut anybody off, man, because this is a conversational show. You feel me? We're gonna give it to you now. You're gonna look. You're gonna gorge on being able to respond. Go ahead, Enoch.
They've proven, just through their political influence, that our community isn't at the forefront of what they stand for. But still, we are privy to everything that they provide. We're privy to every service that they offer, and we should take advantage of it. And we should be a voice in the NRA to somehow, not turn them to a left-leaning organization, anything like that, but please put some more resources into our communities. Hey, there are several community organizations that champion sports. There are community organizations that champion the sciences. Why can't the NRA come into our communities and champion safe pistol handling, shooting, all that good stuff? I mean, there's a place for everything.
Right.
It is.
So also,
yeah, go ahead. Then I'm going to.
Also, I want to point out that I'm not only affiliated, a light member of them, but also a part of the National Association of African American Gun Owners.
Yeah, you said that.
Which,
yes, sir.
like the black version of the NRA, which does all of what you say they do. I joined last October after I got married. I joined last October. A prominent judge here in Wake County that I'm close to encouraged me. I haven't been to a meeting yet because of my work schedule and the lack of manpower. But what I've read online, the founder, what they do for the African American community leads me to lean more towards that. But I want America to understand that you don't have to be white to own a gun.
Absolutely.
I've been owning guns since I was 18. Legal age to own a firearm.
Yeah.
And my wife has a gun. I have guns. I'm an avid hunter. I belong to a club in Franklin County, which has several members of our y'all's former department in it. I'm of the shooting sports. I've competed in 3 gun competitions, IDPA. I've even worked at a gun store for 9 years, part-time. So, go ahead.
Chris, here's what we're in the South,
right?
And Enoch can attest to this. There are a lot of black gun owners in the South because they hunt. Right. They grow up hunting. You and I and my brothers, we were in the North. Our family's from the South. We know about hunting. We might have went on a fishing or hunting trip, right? But it was more like a vacation more than occupation.
Out of necessity.
A necessity.
or simply a way of life.
Yeah. So I think you both are in the same realm of understanding, because let me just say this, and then Damon, I want your opinion about it. Just to let everybody know, Jaquari, his area is experiencing power outage, so he said he's gonna be on as quick as he can.
Oh, okay.
But my personal problem, and it's not a problem, it's just a personal observation with the NRA. I've never had a problem with it. But see, what the NRA does, and I think it's to keep its members, is to treat it like it's a private club. And I think that turns people off. You guys, let me explain what I mean by a private club. Where you have, when Charleston Heston and Clint Eastwood were in the forefront in their older days.
Right.
You know, promote, because they needed the money.
From my cold dead hands.
Yes. See, they needed actors to do that, to galvanize.
Propaganda.
And see, and like I said, they may not. Sometimes you do and say things you don't realize what you're doing. You know, because you got to think about it. I'm old enough to know when there was a slump in the NRA ranks. People were not joining, right? And then the spin doctors brought it to, the forefront, because I've been in law enforcement for 30 years, so I'm familiar with it, and was a member in my early days. You know what I mean? And I didn't give it up because it was, I had some kind of political beliefs. It just happened that way. Life got in the way.
Right.
But my point is, if I were to point something out, it is a feel, whether they're doing it on purpose or not, it is a feel like this is our club, this is our shooting club. You feel what I'm saying? Because they would show up when it was some racially charged shooting. and would throw their propaganda into it. And I did like that. You need to be neutral. But when they were pressed, I'm speaking just in the general term, when they were pressed, then they were like, oh no, NRA for everyone. You feel what I'm saying?
Right. And I understand what you're saying. And I
No,
agree.
no. Let me get to Damon because
Okay, yeah.
I'm not going against you guys. I'm riding with you. It's just a simple point. That's my little thing that's in my head. Feel what I'm saying?
Right.
More than anything, that's how I felt. And I've not been wrong. I ain't been right the whole time. But Damon, you have anything to say? Welcome back, Jaquari.
My point is this, man. When you look at it culturally, man, most of the people from up north or whatever came from the south, through heritage or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Gun culture was a part of life. You know what I'm saying? If you look at the NRA as a institution, you know what I'm saying, in its righteous and justice form, man, you'll understand that everybody agrees with it. It's when they became political, man. It's when the ball got dropped.
Yep.
See what I'm saying?
I agree.
I
And
agree
then
with that.
and then it became tribal. You know what I'm saying? So can you ask a black man, what do you think about guns? And make it a part of what's happening, in terms of criminality. They're gonna be like, okay, where you going with this? You know what I'm saying? But if you ask them personally what it means to them culturally, they got a whole story behind that.
Right.
In its lineage.
I get it.
You know what I'm saying? So when we talk about the NRA, it's their own fault because they became political, man. It's their own fault.
That's a good point.
So when
Good.
so politically, as we go back and forth, they could have their statistics over here and say, well, you know what? Guns are a problem because these people say it is, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to, if you ask a normal person who believes in the Constitution and their rights, you ask them, well, what do guns mean to you? Man, I hunt with them. I target shoot with them. I do all these different things. I just like it because of this reason, and it's traditional. You know what I'm saying? Nobody went against the NRA until they made it political.
And you're right, Damon. And you're absolutely right. Because my dad is a Detroit police officer. He was an investigator with the Detroit Police Department. He took me shooting. I enjoyed it.
Right.
That was one aspect of life, that and fishing, that I enjoyed. And when I came down here to North Carolina, I kept, and I got involved with shooting sports, and it just kept on. And hopefully, when my grandson gets to age, I can take him,
Okay.
and teach him the right way. Because my belief is, if you expose a child to what proper, satellite pictures, we all know, then he will respect it to say, okay, Grandpa told me this, so I'm, in anger, and that's how until I got in law enforcement, firearm is just the number two. It's a tool to the highest level because, you have prior to that to get to that. But luckily, in the 24 years that I've been a cop, I've never had to pull it. I mean, I pulled my firearm, but I've never had to use it. And thank God for that.
All right, quick, Chris. Look, we for your first time, we don't have too much longer, so we're gonna go to another question. And
Go ahead.
I'm gonna have you go last because you're eager and informational.
That's a
Right.
good thing, man. We
No, that's a
Like
real
I
good
said.
thing.
yeah,
But
we
if
need
you
that
look,
fire.
if you're only giving me 40 minutes, I gotta be, a little improvisation on shit.
Everybody else there.
This is what we're gonna do. The question I'm asking is this: is the violence in our community because of the economic depravity of it, right? Or is it a natural order of thing? So I said depravity, I mean disparity. The natural order of things.
Yeah, I mean, there could be depravity in that, man.
I'm trying to figure that one out though.
I don't want nobody to think I'm trying to be sarcastic when I said the depravity. You know how
No,
black
it works.
folks are. But
Well,
no, I like disparity better.
How does depravity work though, bro? I mean,
That's my point. That's my point. It's disparity. I
Depravity.
misspoke. Jaquari, it's on
Depravity.
you.
Damn.
Yeah,
Depravity.
it's on you.
Yeah, depravity is obscene, man. That's why I think it works. But there's never been a point in any culture's or subculture's history there that there's never been violence. It's always been violence. Violence is always been everyone's number one problem solver.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As far as our temperament goes, I don't see why there would be any difference between our temperament and fucking Neanderthal temperament. You know, we get angry and we crash things. We get slighted and we want to do harm to people for small offenses. You know, I think you can never really protect, or take away all the dangers from the world. You know, so as far as our kids, our grandkids, or whatever, we have to, as Chris said, we have to teach them to properly respect those things. You know, and understand, to pay attention to that spider sense when something dangerous is about to happen. You know, but we've always lived, within warring societies. You know, I mean, look at our historical heroes. The archetypes. You know, the samurais, cowboys, the Vikings, Zulu warriors. You know, I mean, outside of the University of Timbuktu and the Greeks. You know, at what other time has education and elevation ever been like really emphasized as a trait, as a favorable trait? It hasn't been.
Okay. Look, like I said, just give me a couple sentences why Chris is still with us, so we can get to him. Enoch.
Okay. Repeat the question.
In your opinion,
the
violence the violence. You think the violence in our community is it the cause because of the economic disparity, or is it the natural order of things? What do you think?
Okay, let me ask a clarifying question. When you say our community, what community are you speaking of?
I'm speaking from the black community, because it's a microscope, and sometimes a microscope puts you in the middle of things, and it makes you feel as though that's the only thing there. Okay. So I'm trying to clarify a little more to get your opinion from it.
Okay. Like Jaquari said, we are a warring society. No matter how we try to spin it, this country was founded on bloodshed and violence. Nothing's going to change that. It's ingrained in us. Old men start wars that young men die in. That's just the nature of the beast. That's the absolute nature of the beast. That's what the world we live in. Now, if you want to break it down to the African American society, the African American community, is there an uptick? Maybe. Is it any different than it has been? I'm not sure. I think in 2023, we're just privy to so much more information with the 24-hour news cycle. that we see everything. You know, we see our kids showing us fights in school on Facebook. We see that stuff. So when I was in school, and I'm sure when y'all went to school, you had fights in school. You had fights in the neighborhood. You had fights in the club. You had fights in all these places.
Yeah.
And we still do. But again, we're privy to so much more of it because everyone sees it, not just a select few. So again, is there an uptick? Maybe.
Okay. Damon. No, we coming to you, Chris.
He
Damon.
got
Go
5
you.
minutes, man.
You muted, bro.
Go, man. Go ahead and let him make his points, man. You know, then I'll follow up.
I'm piggyback on
You, man, you and that mute is getting on my fucking nerves, but we good though. No, I'm just messing with you, Chris. Go ahead.
The piggyback on Enoch said, I think with the evolution of social media and the easy access to things, you're starting to see more and more violence.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm talking about violence from the raw set, not from a movie screen, from the club, the block. You got mass shooters posting their stuff online before they go do the crime.
Yeah.
And I think that's the main part of it. But there again, you run into a First Amendment issue of freedom of expression. But there's a sect in the First Amendment that says any provocational is not covered.
So you mean as far as them putting it online, the First Amendment issue is that
right? Like their last manifesto before they shoot up a whole mall or something like that.
I got you.
That should be automatically taken. Now you got officers wearing body cameras. Now when me, you, and Holloway was on the job, body camera, what's that? All our officers with the investigation was wearing body cameras.
Yeah.
Now, is it a good thing? Yes, it is. I think it is. I think it holds us as law enforcement accountable for our actions. And that's speaking from an active duty law enforcement officer.
Yeah.
Now, was I about it? No. After George Floyd, San Antonio just recently, and a couple other ones. But then it shows law enforcement doing good things, but it also shows the bad things. And because of that, we're being held responsible for our actions. Like when my dad came on the job back in the 60s. I came on the job in the end of the 90s. Different culture, different type of job. Now, hey, our BS is being put on the front street and we're being held accountable for it. Cops are losing their jobs. Hey, I'm all for it. If you do wrong, you do wrong. I'm not going to back you. I'm not going to lie for you. I got your back, but I'm not going to back you and I'm not going to lie for you when you do wrong.
Yeah.
I'm just sorry. It just ain't going to happen. Because we have to maintain a professional atmosphere amongst law enforcement. And we don't have to lash out because somebody called you I can't remember how many times I've been called fat nigga in Eastern Wake County. Okay. As long as you didn't put your hands on me, we good. Hey y'all, I got to roll. Y'all see that?
All right. Yeah.
So I'll holler at y'all.
All
right, bro.
All right, bro.
We'll probably I'll contact you. No.
Can I say something real fast?
Yeah, look, we ain't in a hurry now. We got the rest of the show, bro.
Yeah, I did kind of feel rushed. I gave up my segment, man.
Yeah, go ahead, man. Ain't nobody fucking.
I'm just joking, man.
Go ahead, Jaquan.
It's not a pushback. It's just let me present a thought to something Enoch said. Well, brought up. You know, the fact about social media. Okay, mass shootings are not a new phenomenon. It's not a new phenomenon. The the small acts of school violence and everything that go on, school shootings. They're not small, but those things have always happened. They haven't necessarily always happened in America, though. That's why the rest of the world, looks at Americans like, we're spoiled kids, because we do have a system of rights that on paper is supposed to secure certain safeties for us. I mean, I don't know a lot about other countries' constitutions or anything like that, but I mean, who else has got the laundry list of good shit that we got as far as the Constitution? And again, on paper, we supposedly had a right to.
Got you. I got you. Damon.
My thing is this, man. As I think about my own personal self, my own personal life, man, I find myself living between the gray areas, man. You know what I'm saying? And living in the gray areas, what I understand is my constitutional rights, for what it's worth, based through amendments or whatever, right? If I stand on that, I expect somebody to respect those rights. You know what I'm saying? When you start crossing that line, then that in there where the conflict starts. You know what I'm saying? Because if a person feels that they have a right to exist, and somebody is like the state constitution in Michigan, don't treat on my rights.
God damn, you scared the shit out of me.
I know, man. It's everything all right, bro.
I'm reaching for my
really
guns as we
bad.
speak.
Really.
He got my attention though. He's like, "Hey man, shut up, man. I gotta deal with this."
Yeah.
First of all, I put it on mute and I turned my head and called my son.
No, you didn't.
No.
Yes, I did.
You weren't on mute because we heard you.
Yeah.
You heard me call him.
Carson.
Yeah.
But my point is this, man. Like when I spoke about living in the gray areas, man, I expect everybody to respect everybody's rights. You know what I'm saying? But I think, man, at times, man, people look for loopholes to display whatever it is that they're feeling on a personal level, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? If you're having a bad day, say you having a bad day, man, and you working the job that y'all working, you like you and your feelings, and if somebody comes in a disrespectful way, not saying that that's what you guys do, I'm just saying in general, as an example, do you allow that to filter in with you doing the job, is my question. You know what I'm saying? Because we are all innate, we are innate human being people, we are affected by our environment. And that crosses all boards, man. That crosses all fields. That crosses everything. So if you feeling a certain type of way, and you're doing a certain job, that you could be somebody that's working at a store. You know what I'm saying? And somebody comes up, and you just don't like their look, or they remind you of something, and then you all of a sudden, step to them in a way that they feel disrespected. And they say, "Whoa, hold on, man. What about my? Hold on. I don't appreciate your tone." You know what I'm saying? Where do you bring yourself back, understanding the job that you're doing, and say, you know what? I'm not going to engage with this person because they're being hyperbolic or they're being whatever, and it's going to escalate. I'm in my feelings. Obviously, they're in theirs. So where's it going to lead? So, I mean, me personally, you know what I'm saying? I have to, I don't understand what you guys did, in terms of your job in that type of situation. You know what I'm saying? How do you maintain your credibility on the job and also respect rights when it's combative?
It's a temperament.
It really is. I'll tell you what. I'll answer this. To be perfectly honest with you, man, I was talking to somebody today about this. To be able to be on both sides of the coin is important thing for you in the sense that I was in law enforcement for 30 years. And not to like diminish it, but not really wanting to be in law enforcement. Wanted to do other things. You know what I mean? But as long as I was there, because of the kind of person I am and the character that I think I have, I did my job because I understood what I went through prior to putting on the uniform. So here's the thing. People make mistakes. We're human beings, so it has nothing to do with that. But when you're in a position to do the very best you can to go home, because that was always my goal. I walk out the door so I can walk back into my door. People
Keith,
are like, well, that might.
let me ask you this, Keith. Let me ask you this.
Okay.
And I think, let me know how you feel about this. I don't think there were lots of situations that we got into. Well, let me rephrase that. Because of our physical stature, when we walked into a situation, it was pretty much handled right then and right there.
Yeah, it depends on this. Yeah, I agree.
And but also with that being the case, even if a situation like that were to go left, rarely were we in a situation that even if it did go left, we couldn't physically dominate that situation.
That's real.
So I think, and I don't mean, I'm not trying to speak for you, put words in your mouth, but I think for us, we saw it in a different light. A lot of the things that I'm gonna say it, the weaker looking colleagues we may have had. I'm not saying they were weak; they just didn't possess that physical stature.
They had more problems.
Right, they had more problems than you and I had.
They did. You know, look, with Enoch's booming voice. Hey, sit down.
Got the John Henry voice.
But yeah, exactly. And you know what it is, man? I think, and this is a question for the group. How do you look at the violence in our community as a whole? How does it affect you as a human being? You, Damon, you, Jaquari, you, Enoch. How does it affect you and how you see it? How you see, and I say our community because I use that purposely, and I understood why you asked that question, E, because you may think in the broader sense, right? I really and truly address this first and then branch it. You feel what I'm saying? So we'll come to you, Damon. How does it affect you when you see it? I mean, personally now, I'm not asking for an answer. I want to know your actual feelings about it.
About as far as what?
The violence that you may see.
The violence that
social media, through your life, through everything.
A lot of it doesn't make any sense to me, man. You know what I'm saying? So what I do is I prepare myself and my family to be able to recognize the pitfalls, man, to be able to recognize everything that's happening around me, because the ultimate goal is to survive. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And that's innate in all of us. You know. And that's just, you know, whether you big in stature or whatever. If you're big in stature, like E said, that's a plus. That's a plus.
Okay, now listen to what I'm saying to you. How does it affect you? Not how you prepare for it. I understand because you're a very intelligent human being that you prepare well and you prepare your family. How does it affect you internally?
It's stressful, man. It could cause a lot of health problems, man. Especially as a black man. I mean, that's just how it goes. But you prepare yourself for that and understand that is the case in the situation that you're living in. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, the ultimate goal is to survive, and for your offspring is to survive. You know what I'm saying? But it's something that Enoch said, man, that really, 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 I don't think most of the public understand. because when you speak on the nuances of it, being big in stature, there's certain things that you don't have to deal with, as opposed to a guy who come on the job who's small in stature, but wanna, present that dominance. I mean,
Gotcha.
in there lies the problems that we face every day, man, in terms of law enforcement and the public.
I
I
get
mean,
it.
I don't mean to. I know you asking your questions, Keith, but I just wanted to get that question out because that was very profound what he said, and I wanted to address it.
I get it. Well, you'll get a chance to address it after we go to Enoch and Jaquari. We'll go to you, Enoch.
Repeat your question. Let me get my.
How does the violence that you see? I mean, understanding in the past you had to learn how to adapt as who you are right now. How does it affect you personally?
Like
When
like Damon said, I mean, as a black man, um, it can be stressful. It can be absolutely stressful. Um, I remember the whole George Floyd situation,
Mhm.
and when
Hmm.
they found the officer Derek Chauvin guilty, I was sitting in my kitchen, but damn it, I started crying. I really did. Tears came to my eyes because, in some way, shape, or form, George Floyd and his family got some sort of justice, and I didn't think it was going to happen. I didn't think it was going to happen.
Hmm.
And I literally, I was washing dishes, looking at my TV, and when they found him guilty, tears came to my eyes. And I don't know if those were tears of joy or relief or just sadness because of the whole situation and the tone of the culture that we live in. I don't know. To this day, I don't know. But when they found him guilty, tears came to my eyes because I never expected it to happen.
Hmm.
Never, never, never. So again, and then you factor in, I have a 21-year-old and a 16-year-old who out and about, so it's tough. It's tough. Just be cognizant of where they are. I mean, I'm always looking on where they are on Find My iPhone. You
Right.
know, hey, my man, check in. You good? All of that. I always do that, and I think it's because of the 24-hour news cycle and what we're privy to this day and age.
Yeah, I got a 30-year-old. I do it all the time, bro.
Absolutely, absolutely. Don't
Yo,
change.
you
Don't
good?
change.
That he got a whole thread. You good? You good? And he
Mhm.
responds back. It is what it is. Jaquari, answer the question, and then we're gonna go into your segment, brother.
All right. Well, quite frankly, man, it scares the shit out of me, man. It depresses me, man. It puts me in a dark place because I got a wife, a daughter, two grandkids, man, two little grandkids. So I'm definitely frightened by the atmosphere of the world, at any time. You know what I mean? And I have no fear of anything that could be done to me. I mean, fuck it, I lived a good life. It's them I fear for. I really do. My daughter's going to high school with guys that, I had to separate and it got physical. You know what I mean? She's I'm a short drive away from my facility. So, I got kids who are in my facility, knowing my vehicle and my wife's vehicle and my address. So I got it. I learned early that I had to walk a fine line, man. Because working in detention, uh, I don't even want to call it. I don't even want to call it an aspect of law enforcement, man, because it's not. We don't have any arrest authority. We don't have. We don't carry weapons. It's only a couple of people who carry handcuffs, right? But I don't know if there was ever an occasion where, you guys had to hook up with a person and then come in the next morning and feed that person.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
it's happened.
So the compassion that I didn't have going into this job, the empathy that I did not possess going into this job, the the uh the wanting to see a light at the end of the tunnel that was dim when I started this job, all that was washed away because I have to constantly deal with these people. You know, I have to uh, 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 assert myself in a way that they understand that if they lose control of themselves, then I am here to control them, and it happens sometimes. But I can't project my presence to my grandkids. And they're states away. I couldn't even drive and get there tomorrow. So the world scares the shit out of me, man, for real. All right. About that time, y'all. It's time for Uncle Spoke Say. And it's a funny thing that Chris was on screen smoking a cigar, Enoch on screen smoking a cigar, and I'm on screen smoking a cigar, right? Because I wrote this thing earlier. It's called I Like to Smoke Because I'm Angry. And it goes, hey man, I like to smoke, but I think it's time I gave them motherfuckers up and gave them their walking papers. Not because of some moral issues or some sudden epiphany type shit. Hell, I like to smoke. The reason I got to cut tobacco loose is because y'all be taxing like a motherfucker for them shits. It has become increasingly difficult to enjoy a peaceful smoke anywhere, including the comfort of your own goddamn vehicle. Listen to this shit here. So yesterday, I'm driving home from work. I don't know if you was alive and out, but it was a kerjillion degrees outside. I sweat in I sweat in the shower in the fucking winter. So, I was just beautifully miserable. But I goddamn digress. Anyway, I'm sitting there smoking and minding my own when this little blue-haired lady pulls up next to me at the red light. So she honks her horn and rolls down the window and proceeds to make a choking, fanning motion as if to imply that my smoking bothered her in some way. Now, I couldn't goddamn believe that shit. As I rolled my window down, yeah, they was up. I told y'all it was a bajillion degrees outside, so I got the air on. But I'm a smoker because I like to smoke. Where to go? Anyway, the sucker went down 2 seconds before I looked her dead in the eyes and said, "I sure do thank you, Miss Lady. I'm just a stupid old me. Why? I don't know what makes me so, damn. I'm sorry. I don't know how I makes it home alive sometimes. I was powerful sorry, man. Hey, man, little old blue-haired ladies in the great state of Virginia, they pop motherfuckers every day. Not just big black men. They pop everybody, Jack. Hey, look, you got to tread lightly around the motherfuckers. Very lightly. Nah, I'm just fucking with y'all. I gave her the finger like a motherfucker. I ain't done that shit in years. Honestly, it felt kind of good, man.
You rotten bitch.
You should have seen how fast that window got up, man. And she was flicking the goddamn locks up and down and shit. It was an old goddamn, I think it was a deuce and a quarter and shit, goddamn. 3-ton goddamn monstrosity from 1970 goddamn 3.
You done had the sound effect. Oh,
yeah. She was terrified. It tickled the shit out of me, man.
Anyway, that's funny as hell, boy.
Anyway, the gist is, mind your own goddamn business. and for COVID's sake, let's be nice to each other. Because we just got back together not too long ago. I've been Uncle Spoke, and that's what I say.
That's real.
Damn, bro. Now that was hilarious, man. For real.
All right. Well, as far as next thing I want to bring up is, as far as I asked you guys how you personally felt about the violence. Well, this is a two-part question. Do you think you're more affected because, and Enoch, I think you alluded to this earlier, either you or Chris, that you get more information now than you did before? Is it because you get the information that you get that you're affected that way? Or is it that you really feel there is an increase as you got older? Damon, we'll go to you first.
As far as the increase, they may well be. You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't change my viewpoint, how I see it, man, because I'm only affected by my own personal environment, man. You know what I'm saying? That's where I live and that's where I try to survive at.
Okay.
See what I'm saying? So I do what I can to share information in terms of having somewhat of a normal life or a normal existence, man. But we all know, man, that shit happens, man, every day. And it just happens to people, innocent people. You know what I'm saying? I just don't get caught up in that, man, and I pray, if you believe in a higher power, you pray and say, you know, I hope it don't happen to mine. Based on your reaction to it and your loss. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, if something happened to somebody that you love, there's going to be two losses involved if you're the type of man I am. You know what I'm saying? And that affects your family on that way. So in the back of my mind, I have to be cognizant of that. You know, and be grateful for those peaceful days, man.
Okay. Ja'Quari.
Yeah, I seriously don't think that there's been an uptick in violence, but I'm severely affected by the way that the access to the images have affected me. You know, I'm not. There's never been a point in my life where, you know, I could access, you know, a doggone MMA fight or go on YouTube or come on YouTube and you know, research different firearms, you know, because I've been doing that lately. I've been, you know, gun shopping and any firearm that, you know, I have interest in. You go on YouTube right now and you type it up and it will come up.
It will come up.
It will come up. Not only like, you know, the specs and everything, but people will show you how to disassemble them, how to clean them, how to, you know, do field maintenance. Now, and all those are very good, you know, very good things to know if you are dealing with firearms. But you know, the access to that kind of information, they didn't have that 50 years ago. You know, if you came from a gun household, that's the only way you knew how to properly address firearms. But other than that, you know, it was all just, you know, I'm gonna get this gun and shoot it till it run out of bullets. Then I'm gonna get another gun. You know, that's and you know, going back to what Chris was talking about, you know, in regards to the NRA, that's why the NRA never fuck with black people. Because seriously, man, growing up, I didn't know any legal gun owners.
Man, look.
We ain't know no legal gun owners.
First of all, back in our day, Corey, it was easy to get a gun in the state of Michigan.
I know it was.
You just couldn't carry it in public. It was always had to be in the trunk. But you could purchase a gun at any pawn shop easily.
How many cats came out of the military that you know?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead and finish, Ja'Quari.
Yeah, just because you could buy the motherfuckers don't mean you could have them. That's my point. You know, so the NRA, man, didn't see the black community as potential customers.
And I acknowledge your point when you said that.
Yeah, so
I mean, it
We
makes sense
we
because
know a lot of
let me just say this real quick. We were made in our and Ed, here you go. In our community, the black community, we were made to think that we're not supposed to own guns.
Mhm.
Indirectly or directly, we were made to
Dirty little
think
secret.
you are not supposed to own guns. But as soon as a man or a woman goes to purchase the gun, it's filling out the paperwork and you have it. But as a whole, the communication towards us to be a gun owner, other than a shotgun or rifle, because every black man and woman, especially every black man, has owned, I think, a shotgun or a rifle. Because you can buy it in Walmart, you can buy it in Kmart, flashback, Kmart. You can buy it. You feel what I'm saying? Because it's a sportsman tool. So guess what? You had access to it. You know what I'm saying? But with the handgun, you think about it. In the state of Michigan, what was it? I don't know if it changed to open carry now, Damon. You can tell me or not. But the thing, but whenever we was on the court and a fight broke out, somebody said, "Go pop the trunk," because you was not gonna get jammed up if you had your firearm, especially if it was legal. If you had it locked in your trunk.
Yep.
That's the state of Michigan now.
Yep.
You feel what I'm saying? So, Enoch, is it on you, or did we get everybody? The question.
yeah, we got everybody.
Yeah, we led with
I
Enoch.
think we all answered it in some way, shape, or form.
Okay. So, I'm just going to change it up a little bit because it's always addressing the violence because that's what this episode is really about. But this is how I'm going to change it up. Do you think, as a community, our future is bleak by what we're being fed? Now, we're going off the basis of what we're being fed in social media, and that's what you're processing. The four of us, we look at news, we read papers, and we have social media. Off of those things, does it make our community look like it's a bleak future for us? And who went first? Who went first the last time?
Enoch.
All right, Damon, it's on you.
I don't think it. If I get caught up in it, man, you know what I'm saying. If I forget myself, then it does look bleak. But I'm 57 years old and I survived it, bro. And my kids are in a good space. I'm focused now on my grandbaby who's full of life. You know what I'm saying? I can't allow my mind to go in that space. You know what I'm saying? Because my only thought process is to make sure that my grandbaby, is safe in order for her to experience her life the way she's supposed to. So I can't get caught up in what other people do. What other people do, and it affects me in a negative way, then there's gonna be a cost to that, bro. That's how I feel. I'm not gonna hesitate to do that. Hopefully these clowns understand that and give me, you know what I'm saying, don't treat on my progress or my family. So that's where I'm at with it.
Tread, brother, tread.
What I say?
Treed.
Hamburger, cheeseburger, bro.
I mean, come on, man. We've been sipping on here. Stop playing, dog.
Hey, man. Y'all know who I am.
I'm sipping on water.
Hey, look. Hey, Jaquar, it's up to you. What you gonna do?
Ask that question one more time, brother, because I'm trying to form some stuff.
Do you feel this by the three things that I named: social media, what you read in the newspaper, and different things that you know,
Mm-hmm.
is our future bleak?
I don't think I don't. You think about how social media has affected each subsect of our society as far as racial communities go, and you know black people in this country have always taken the bad, man, taken the dregs and made something good out of it, man. That's why
Facts.
we were always like people from third world countries always looked up to us because we were the consummate underdogs, man. I mean, we're going to survive. When COVID hit, when COVID hit, and everybody blamed it on China, man. They, I mean, they're what they showed on the news would lead you to believe that their communities were falling apart. You know, they never had to go on TV and make commercials about uh, 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 being racially fair to Asians before. But right at in the middle of COVID, that's all you seen because everybody was blaming them for it. You know, bleakness, man. No, no, I don't. I'm not hopeful every day. Because I think it'd be a problem if I was hopeful every day because I'm looking at life through blinders, man. But I'm rational and mature enough to deal with what I have in front of me. Again, going back to my job, man. Working with uh, disaffected youth. I see them as mounds of clay. I see them as mounds of clay, man. That people either didn't have the skills to develop and form, or just didn't bother to take the time to. So now it's up to me and the people that I work with to sculpt these young men and women into not only useful sections of society, parts of society, but people who are going to prosper because they don't believe it can happen for them. They don't talk about the future. They do not talk about the future. Not the kids that I work with.
Gotcha. I got Enoch is on you, but let me say this. You want to know why that I seem to have clicked with you almost automatically the first time I met you? Because you remind me so much of my brother Jaquari. It ain't funny, man. It is so funny. Y'all both have the same damn kind of energy. You know what I mean? And why I'm even saying that because the way you just brought your cigar up and spoke it, I was like, my man.
Look here, man.
Yeah, look.
Look here. Cigars ain't cheap. So I'm gonna get every
Yeah.
bit of draw out of
First of all, I don't smoke cigars because of the heat at the end, man. I can't do it.
Man, look,
Can't do it.
you smoke them $20 motherfuckers till your lips burn.
See that? That's why I carry a knife.
All right, Enoch, it's on you, brother.
I
All
carry
right.
I carry a knife in case a motherfucker starts something.
If you know me, you know I am a glass half full kind of person. That's just the way I carry myself. So bleak, heck no. I'll never say that because just to personalize it, I've got a legacy. I've got two boys, um, and I'd be damned if I think that their future is bleak.
Yeah.
Um,
Facts.
uh, there's no way they've got their whole lives ahead of them. And so no, in no way, shape, or form do I think it's bleak. Now, can it be concerning, disconcerting, depressing uh, by media coverage, by social media and things like that? Absolutely, absolutely. And I think y'all know I teach or facilitate, excuse me, anger management groups, domestic abuse and treatment groups. And I had a young brother in one of my groups last Saturday before last. He was explaining to me what his relationship was like. And he was like, well, on Facebook, we're together. We're a couple on Facebook. And I said, bro, social media is not a real place.
It's real.
That's not real. What is your relationship? So I can't, and I say that to say social media isn't real. Um, you might get a little bit of news here and there from it, but for the most part, it's just people fake flossing. Uh, they're absolutely fake flossing, and you see the facade. Uh, you don't see what's really going on in their lives. But the younger generation is so caught up in likes and clicks and what this person has. I have to explain to both my children, look, this social media stuff is not real.
It's not.
Facebook is not a real place. Twitter is not a real place. Instagram
Even
is
if you
not a
make
real
money,
place.
even if you
Yeah,
make money, it's still not real.
it's not a real place. Although, I'll lay in my bed at night and scroll Instagram and laugh hysterically at some of the stuff that I see. Cause boy, it is. If I want a good laugh, I will just start scrolling.
Yeah.
But even in that, it's not real. So, and I have to condition my mind that it ain't real. This stuff ain't real. Because even the violence that you see, I mean, with the influx of AI and all that other stuff now, I'm not taking that as fact. I'm not doing it.
Gotcha. 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 All right, this is all three of you guys great answers, man. And this one that each episode I choose at least one or two things that I'll answer. This is one of them. Uh, Bleakness. My optimism won't allow me to do it. My humanity tries to convince me to be that way. But my optimism, because my optimism is connected to God more than anything. It's how I've always been. You know what I'm saying? The fact that I understood that I am just like everybody else has always helped me to keep my sanity. So do I see the future as being bleak or something going on? No, I don't. Because the guys already said it. They have people that's following them that's going to be living. So the four of us will do everything we can to make sure that they do. That's my answer to that.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And what I'm going to do, because I didn't get to do my segment in the beginning, I'm going to do real quick because we're going to be doing ads. All three of us are going to be doing ads in the future of the people that we know that's doing businesses or want to advertise whatever they're doing. But what I want to do, and I wrote this down, generational curses, right? My dad was a person that I respected highly. He was the only man, physical man, who would tell me, even though the sky was blue, he would say, Keith, that is a light shade of green. And I would make myself believe it because I had that much respect for him. That much respect, that much love for him because I knew he wouldn't steer me wrong. But the one thing I disagree with him, he talked about, and sometimes I think it was a joke, but he said it so much. Generational curse. Jaquari, Damon, you can tell me his exact wording, but he always said it was bad. We had Armstrongs had bad luck.
The Armstrong curse.
The Armstrong curse. And I put that in the category of as a generational curse, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which I really and truly never believed from the beginning. mostly because, and I'm not into, I don't know if it's associated to religious aspect. Damon and Jaquar, you can tell me whether it is or not, but I never believed it because that man and that woman, my mother, sister, John Armstrong, taught me to survive and persevere without hesitation, to look at who I am and what kind of person I am, right? But I see that people bring up generational curses to give them. I'm talking about social media more than anything. They bring it up to apply to their life. And when they do bring it up, they don't have an answer to it. And me personally, I look for answers in everything. I may not be able to do anything about it, but I do calculate an answer in my brain I need something. You feel what I'm saying? And I think I Googled it. And the first thing that popped up, not saying Google is the end all be all of answers, but the first thing that popped up, I expected to be biblical, right? But Google said it's a Mediterranean ideology.
Where's that? Where's the Mediterranean?
Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying to you, which is a good point. But the point I'm trying to make to you is this. To me, I looked at the different examples of it, and it's not what I was taught, right? And just what I said earlier, Google is not the end all or be all. But the thing about it is, when you're seeking knowledge, when you're seeking when you're seeking some kind of an understanding, you bring in every resource that you can bring. But if you recognize as having a generational curse upon you, does it mean for you to stop living? Does it stop you from living? Or do you figure out how to break it? You see what I'm saying? Because honestly, there are answers to ways to break it. You feel what I'm saying? But me, throughout my life, a man that I've listened to, and I took his word as bond, period. I never accepted that. First of all, when he was saying it to me, I was blessed at the time because I got to see him, I got to see my mother, I got to be with my brother. In my life, I wasn't homeless. I was not. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to bring up generational curse for this. You settle for what you choose to believe in more than anything.
Generational curses, man, could be, lethargy. They could be procrastination. They could be, one.
It chimes into what I'm saying. You might have to settle for it.
One of several things, man. It's just those things can unfortunately be taught. You can teach. You can teach it.
Let you chime in. Because this is my segment, I need to finish the quart.
I thought you was done, bro.
No,
You
no.
pause. You paused like you was done, King.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, sir. I'm
That
saying you being the talent and you give me so much problems with I'm not finished, sir. I did
yeah,
not finish, Keith.
that's
Let
my
me finish.
job.
Hold on. It's going
Tell me
hold
to
on.
hold on, nigga.
Oh, do you really?
I'm sorry, but I ain't mean to step on your toes,
Yeah.
bro.
Man, don't you handle me. But this is my point. I I lead my life in optimism. I lead my life in hopefulness. I lead my life in joy. And it may not work out with those three things, but those are the things that I really and truly take in to my body. And I expel the other stuff. Ja'Quari, you have something to say?
Shit, I don't even remember it now, bro.
I know. Like, yo, Keith, what I really want to do is just fuck with you right now.
You see, let me
I
talk. Let me say something.
I
You know,
rather enjoy it. I rather enjoy it, bro.
I know you do. I know you do. All right. So this is along the lines, but not quite. And I just want to get you guys' opinion. I need to get your opinion on, and I know all three of you guys are aware of this gentleman, Dr. Umar Johnson. I need to know your opinion about him. I'm with the Pan Africanism, right? I see it and I understand it. What is your opinion about his message? And we'll start with you, Enoch.
I'm a Dr. Umar fan, man. I really am. I'm a fan. I'm a fan. Now, I I'm not going to say he's biting off more than he can chew. I'm not going to say that. But what I am going to say is the African American community is devoid of leaders. Uh, LeBron James is not a leader. Shouldn't be a leader in the African American community.
He's an entertainer, man. That's what
Yeah,
he
he's
is.
an entertainer. Jay-Z shouldn't be a leader in the African American community. So the African American community is devoid of leaders. So if someone outside of the entertainment uh, sector decides they want to step up, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. And, we go back to social media. Bro, if you follow him on social media, that he has valid points. Um, can he be a tad bit extreme? Absolutely, absolutely. But if I agree with everything everybody said, that in and of itself is a problem with me. Um, so I don't agree with everything he said, but overall, I am 100%. I am a fan. I'm an absolute fan of Lamar Johnson.
Okay. Okay. Damon.
I like Umar because he said all the time, I'm unapologetically African. That dispels the bastardization that this country try to place us in. You know what I'm saying? It gives us a
Okay.
connection.
Okay. Ja'Quari.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still a fan of Umar Johnson, but I said it before, man. Social media, man. With the access that we are given to his life is has stained him in some people's eyes. Like the school or whatever. It was an unsuccessful investment. It fucking happens.
So the one in Camden, it failed then because I know he got the building in Camden and he was rebuilding it
I didn't know. No, I'm talking about
in New Jersey.
no, I'm talking about the one in North Carolina.
Yeah, they went to a higher bidder is what they did.
Yeah. So that, I mean, that those things happen, man. You know, he had a plan. He still got a plan. You know, I mean, you can say that he's full of this or full of that. I mean, and my biggest thing is, you know, he doesn't give me the sense of, you know, like he feels like he's bigger than the movement, but he's definitely affected by the fame that it brings. You know what I mean? And I think some of that fame has caused him to make mistakes.
But
He's
being
a,
human,
he's a human.
yeah.
He's a human being.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, shit. I mean, hey, I like a little dirt on my heroes' faces. Fuck it. I mean, that's just what it is.
Okay.
You know, that's like, I was watching Sanford and Son, and you know, it was an episode where he went to a mansion, and when he left, he turned around at the door. He said, hey, get you some smell in this house.
Some smell.
Yeah, house don't smell like nothing. You know, it don't seem like nobody live here. You know,
That's real.
Our heroes, our activists, the people who make a difference in our lives, man, have flaws. You know, if they drink too much, if they, you know, goddamn argue with the old lady, you know, they still got good ideas, man. They still got good ideas, you know. And whenever we just you know, throw the baby out, you know, with the bathwater, when you know, when we find out something about, when we find out something negative about, you know, one of our media figureheads, you know, we throw the whole shit out the window.
Is that conditioning?
It's absolutely conditioning. The same thing is happening in the Charleston White now. Charleston White is a brilliant motherfucker, man.
A brilliant media man to bring attention to what needs to be brought to. I agree totally.
Yeah, I mean, you know, whatever his other flaws may be, that motherfucker gets wheels moving.
Yeah.
For good.
And you know what? You know what's so crazy about it? Just to chime in on that little part, Charleston White was doing great things before he became a social media guy. He was doing great things in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
And nonprofits and everything.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
And was never supposed to leave jail.
Yeah.
So you can't tell me there ain't a second chance for, you know, for everybody out in the world.
All right, I got another thing. We talking about Umar, so I saw something the other day, and I really wanted you guys to really chime in on it. Umar was just talking about, when I read the quote, then you'll know what I'm saying. He said, only one of us can concede at one time, right? So basically what he was saying was, we always, when there's more than just one individual, there's not enough room in this society for one black individual to succeed. There's only one individual at one time, right? And he feels as though, and this is how he feels as though that if it's more than one, our community tear down the other folks or tear him down so the other folks can squeeze into that. So tell me, what is you guys' opinion on that? And we'll go with you, Damon.
I think that he takes it personal.
I'm saying I get that, but I want you to concentrate on the quote more than anything. What do you feel about the quote?
Well, that's what I was about to say, bro. What I feel about the quote is that it's easy to fall victim to that, man, because of your own personal experience, man. But everybody that's a leader in the community is not, you know, spotlighted, man. There are people who reach people that they don't even know.
Yeah.
That change their lives.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Who knows John and Margie Armstrong other than our own personal group? But they are very profound in their life, man, and what they taught and what they showed us. You know what I'm saying? And they live, they're immortalized through us in terms of our behavior and our actions and what we present. You know what I'm saying? All three of us are married, been married for a long time. We got kids who are educated. That was the goal that they set for us, and that became the norm for us. You feel what I'm saying? It became the norm. Who else knows that? You know what I'm saying? Only those who are paying attention. It's not a global thing. So I don't think it's fair, man, to pit each one of us against each other saying we're not doing the job as a whole when we are actually doing the job, grassroots.
Okay.
You follow what I'm saying?
I feel you.
So we can't dispel that. We can't dismiss those people who made those sacrifices, man, because they did. They actually did that. They're not nationally known, but their life had to mean something, and they have to be recognized in that vein, man.
So I want you to answer this real quick, then we're gonna go to you, Jaquari. Why don't we know them, in your opinion, Damon?
Right, because like E was talking about, and you and social media, man. Y'all spoke about Charleston White. Charleston White is a brilliant guy, but he gets people's attention by what? Being in that character, and he speaks about the character.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And speaking about that character and going into the character, cats our age is offended by that shit, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's an automatic turn off, and we miss the message,
Gotcha.
right?
Well, we don't miss the message. We already know the message, but we have a negative stance towards him because we feel he's.
He was the thing.
I'm not even turned off by it.
Here's the thing, but that's
Because
because you know thyself. But my point is, here's the thing: if you offend people who's listening to you, and you say, "I'm just telling you this for your own good," that's abuse, man. That's what it is.
It's abuse, but they will flock to you, though, won't they?
Oh, then that's misogynistic, then, man. I mean, is that healthy?
I get you.
Hey, I got your attention, man, by degrading you. So listen to me so I can teach you better. That's the misnomer, man. That doesn't work. That's, you know what I'm saying? That's not healthy.
You don't think extreme
It
times call for extreme measures?
It works, but it's not healthy.
Well, who would subscribe to that, though, bro?
I mean,
A lot of people, man.
name me one thing about our community that's healthy.
Well, I think Charleston White is the antithesis of what is taught in the hood, quote unquote. You know, the no snitching thing, and that's truly how Charleston White gained his fame.
Yeah.
Initially, like, bro, I would snitch on any and everybody. I don't care. And
But is he an anomaly though?
No,
Because okay, a lot of people.
He's an
Are there some people? Are there some people who snitch who ain't on this earth no more?
Yeah, but he's an anomaly because he has no problem admitting to it. The folks who
I get it.
who snitch, although they might not be on this earth no more because they got offed, they still didn't go around telling folks in the hood, "Oh yeah, I told on such and such. I did this, I did that." It kind of came out in the wash. Charleston White don't care.
Okay.
Yeah, and you know what's so crazy about it is he told on people in the real. It's not like I'm your cohort. No, sir. You came at me, and this is what I'm supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
You know, Charleston White is.
Go ahead,
Dick
Jaquari,
Gregory.
it's on you, bro.
Charleston White is Dick Gregory, man.
Ah,
You know,
good comparison, man. It's a good comparison.
He think he's Dolomite.
Combination.
It's a combination because he's not quite Dick Gregory because Dick was all about us. You know what I'm saying? Charleston White is about us, but he hitting us with the shock value. He hitting us with the shock value is what he's doing.
But now
Dick
Charleston
Greg,
White, remember Charleston White. The first time Charleston White got my attention, watching interviews with him about how basically he beat the system when he started suing his employers.
Yeah.
For 50 grand here, 100 grand here, for stuff that happens all the time
On the job.
on
Slipping
the
and falling.
job. Yes, sexual harassment because we had a coworker that wouldn't stop talking about chicks he was smashing off and on. It had nothing to do with him, but he went to HR and said that made him feel some type of way, and got an attorney and sued and won because technically it's a violation.
Yeah. Go ahead and finish your Quan.
I need you to ask me the question one more time, man. I'm sorry, man. My answer just jumped out of my head.
Damn.
Yeah, and it's all connected to why I was off so long, man. My goddamn power went off in my house because it's thunderstorming and shit, and I just automatically went on save the meat mode and shit. Then it came back on, so I still got
Save the meat.
Save the meat, the meat. Yeah, shit, yeah.
If the meat spoil, you salty as hell, ain't you?
Oh man.
Oh shit.
I buy a big old fat juicy steak just to freeze the motherfucker.
One day I'm gonna eat it.
You got 15 steaks in the oven.
Big ass
in the freezer.
Right there.
Yes, sir. Hey,
I'm gonna take
Yes,
the
sir.
motherfucker to work and give it.
Go ahead and answer, man. Then Jaquar can go ahead and chime in. You remember the question?
Repeat the question, man. I ain't 18 no more.
That's why he wanted you to go, because he can't remember it.
This cat.
No, you just answered the question. What was it?
But no, it started with Umar Johnson, and I think we all answered that.
We did.
And then we went down. We went down to Charleston White rabbit hole.
Yeah.
About
snitching. That's what it was. It wasn't a question. What it was is Charleston White said that he pretty much. I'm gonna look at it later, but he pretty much saying, "Look, I'm a snitch because it is what it is." You feel what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Because basically, what he's saying is, if you victimize me, I'm going to call the law, and you going to jail. Because at one time we fed into that entertainment bullshit where they were making songs. I love Busta Rhymes, but when Busta Rhymes made the song about snitching, you feel what I'm saying? I had a problem with that, and I stopped being a fan of his. You want to know why? Because the four of us know what a real snitch is. It ain't nobody who's being victimized and you done broke in his house and he know who you are and you tell the police, you not snitching. No, that's self-preservation, man.
Right. And there's a major difference, man.
You got to explain that to these young folks, man. Anybody who's called
Jaquari, they know. They know, but they're trying to take the easy way out.
But you know what, Keith? You remember the trailer park? You remember the trailer park on Forestville Road? It was a trailer park on Forestville Road, right up the street from where I live right now. It was mostly Hispanic, well, all Hispanic.
Yeah.
And we would get called out there, and they wouldn't say a word to us. But as soon as we left, they handled the situation.
They did.
That's something that'll never happen in the black community, though, man.
Yeah.
Never. And it's like. Go ahead, Keith. I'm sorry.
No. Go ahead and finish, Jaquari, because we're gonna go to the last question of the day, and then I'm gonna let you guys go.
I didn't really have anything.
I was just talking, sir. It's on you.
I told you I've been drinking, man. I can't remember shit.
Yeah,
You dog piling now, brother. Come on.
No doubt, no doubt. We got you, man. Listen, this is the last question. This is a personal question.
Oh shit.
Yeah, because, and it's really about who you are as a person. And it ain't deep. It's just a simple question.
Well, you build that shit up, but it must be deep.
You know why? Because of the podcast, my guy. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
You know, this is what we
Let's
do.
establish some guidelines, bro, before you ask.
Look at
I'm just talking shit.
you. Don't talk about nothing before 1995, motherfucker.
Shit, man. Yeah, 'cause I got to work Monday, bro.
That's what I'm talking about.
Look, I'm really hung up on, and I do what the best I can. It's just individually, I do the best that I can. Period. This is an individual when it comes to our community. I keep saying that. I'm not saying it like I'm this big ass, gigantic activist. It's not like that. What I do is take responsibility for the people within my purview. It don't have to be family members, but people within my purview that I speak to every day, right? If it was something that you feel, just pick one thing that will go a long way into solving, not solving it, but a long way into solving the violence in our community. What would you think it would be? And I'm gonna give you guys a chance to think about it by me telling you what I think. What I think personally is people individually have to come together and understand that they might be the root cause of what's going on. Because we get caught up on living our life. You know, you that noisy ass neighbor with the music blasting. You got all your friends over there. Your friends are disrespectful. If you live in a trailer park, you're going to piss around the trailer, or you're going in somebody's backyard if you live in a subdivision, pissing in their backyard. You don't mean no harm, but you're being disrespectful by doing it, right? And your neighbor come to you like, yo, come on, dog. Respect me. That's all I need you to do, right? Or you this youngin', when I say youngin', that's 40 on down for me. You this youngin' who want to express and be the best that they can be. And they don't give a damn about anybody else, because a lot of people are like that. Not just in our community. There's a lot of people like that. And it's my way. They the type that is my way or the highway. You know what I'm saying? When do it get to the point where you humble yourself? That's the only time I think that a human being should humble themselves, is when to prevent an unnecessary violent act. When you humble yourself and to say, yo, you know what? You are right. Let me turn this music down. You are right. Let me talk to my child and put them in place so they won't bully your child. You're right. Let me, whatever comes in place, let me do this so the best outcome will come to pass. When do you get to the point where you, in a clear-headed manner, make the best choice for you and your family? Everybody understand what I'm saying?
Is that the question or is that your answer?
That's my answer.
Okay.
I think that you come to that conclusion, man, when you feel like you man enough to respect your surroundings and say, turn the music down, right? And not feel like you succumbing to another man's will. Am I making
Good
sense?
point. It's a good point.
And that in lies the problem, you know what I'm saying? We get so caught up in presenting ourselves as a man instead of respecting the community that conflict happens and it escalates and it gets out of control and people lose their lives, man. You know, if somebody come to me and say, "Hey, man, your shit is loud. Can you turn it down?" and they derogatory in their statement, I have to think to myself, okay, I have to live with this person, and I can just simply turn the music down. Now later on, I'm gonna come to him and be like, "Hey, man, you tried to front me off in front of my people. Let me explain to you why you shouldn't ever do that again." I can live with that. That's a choice. I can live with that. But imagine you having a good time and somebody coming and say that, make that point, and then your boy is sitting back talking about, damn, he disrespectful as hell. It's gonna escalate, man.
But if you that man, it don't matter what your boys say.
Right. So it's all.
Right.
So what's the definition of what we think as
Good
cats in their
point.
50s
Good point.
deem
I
what a
mean,
man is?
Good point.
Enoch, you got something to say? Go ahead, bro.
the question, I guess it boils down to what do we think can be done in the community. Okay. Um,
That's why I directed it and I piled all that shit on there because all that shit belongs there. You feel me?
when we understand that despite or in spite of what may be happening, we matter. Okay. And we matter. Our voice matters. Our opinions matter. Our feelings matter. We matter. And if we can instill that, first of all, in ourselves,
It's real.
and then allow it to trickle down to the younger generations that we have our hands on, to let them know that, damn it, you matter. Okay? Damn it, your opinion matters. Damn it, your voice matters. And I'm really big on saying, damn it, your feelings matter, because I'm sure you guys can know, y'all came from the same generation I came from in that regard, that suppress your feelings. Black folks don't get depressed.
You're
Go
right.
to church, pray about it. No, your feelings matter. If you're depressed, then damn it, you're depressed. If you're sad, then damn it, you're sad. They have no problem with you being happy. Why should they have a problem with you being angry? Why should they have a problem with you being sad? Your feelings matter. Don't discount people's feelings.
Yeah.
And when we accept that and able to have that mindset trickle down to our sphere of influence, I think that will go a long way towards change.
Okay. Great damn points. Jaquari.
Well, two things actually, man. Number one, I think we need to teach our children, man, that your pride does not outweigh my humanity. You know, I'm
I wish I had a fucking horn, man. There you go. For both you, Enoch, and for you, Jaquari, I wish I had a horn. But go ahead, Jaquari.
and number two, man. I think we should encourage parents and older folks to tell our children about their childhood. I mean, is I've talked to so many fathers and sons, man, where the fathers could actually just hold up a mirror, man,
That's real.
and everything I done, everything you doing, I done done it and left it alone.
That's real, bro. That's facts right there, man.
Yeah, so I mean that connections, man, connections. That's the only way that we'll not survive, because we're always going to survive, but that's the only way we're going to thrive, man.
This will.
Connections bring cooperation.
Okay. Hey, Damon, answer the question. Then we're gonna go into your segment. And then we're gonna tie this thing in a nice little neat bow.
Okay, the question is again, repeat it so I'll make sure I'm on point with it.
Is that it? Is it one of the ones you sent us?
Yeah.
Just look on your phone.
Because if you think about it, I started the question at first. I answered the question first. Yeah.
Basically, what it had to do with that because look, the point is I'm not forgetting, but people go in different directions and make great points that you kind of
right.
But it has to do with
one thing that you would do
that you could do to change it. That's exactly what it was.
If I
need you to write this down from now on, my guy.
I am.
No. I started the question out first. Then I asked Enoch. Remember?
No, look.
Yeah.
Well, to answer that question, man,
it was reference. Then I ended up saying it was on you after we're done.
Right.
We good.
To answer that question, man, I'm going to be honest with myself in how I know how to conduct myself as a 57-year-old man. I can do things by example, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's it. You know what I'm saying? You take a look at my life, and then you are able to choose whether or not I'm genuine in my approach to life. You know what I'm saying? That's the best way I can change anything.
I like that.
You know what I'm saying? And I hold strong to that, man, because I'm not doing anything outside of myself. I'm living my life and I'm changing. You know what I'm saying? And I'm doing the best I can. People might have their opinions about that, but you know what I'm saying? If it's constructive, then tell me. Let me know. If you stuck on disagreeing, then don't stop my progress in terms of me working my own shit out. You know what I'm saying? Because my own personal shit doesn't affect anybody else other than the people that's close to me. So my dedication and who I am is for them. And then it branches out. So, if I look at the question in terms of how do I change it or how I want to change it, I have no answer to that, man. I only have the answer to how I deal with and approach what I'm facing. You know what I'm saying? And try to be the best man I can. Everybody ain't going to agree with that.
Yeah.
But in my own purview and my own circle, what they expect from me is who I have to be and who I have to recognize. Be I be a tyrant or the best father in the world. You feel me? I have to make a choice in my experience, is my point. And based on those choices I make, man, I got to deal with the consequences of it, bro. And in their lives is a way to be better.
So your answer is to be better.
Be the best I can, man. My purpose.
That's real. Well, it's time for your segment. Gonna bring it on home, brother.
My segment is this, man. Lately, I've been thinking about, the questions that we dealt with tonight, and we as a people as a whole, man. And the one thing I could come up with is the fact that, man, the world in general see us as bastardized people because we have no homeland that we can go back to and, you know what I'm saying, whatever. So as stepchildren of bastardized people, everybody has an opinion about us and our behavior. They don't think about what they do to make us act the way we do, They only think about what they feel we're not appreciative of. You know what I'm saying? So they go to that, well, you know what I'm saying, y'all feeding off the tit of whatever. They don't give us credit for building this country and overcoming shit. You know, you think about the political talking points. What do they say? Y'all always go back to slavery. That is the most offensive thing anybody could say to me, because I know people who went through segregation, Jim Crow and shit, that's still alive today. Hell, that was my parents and grandparents. You feel what I'm saying? So when you talk about why can't you get over slavery, you an ignorant ass person, and I don't even have to address you because you're not even interested in what's really going on, what's really happening. You're not interested in it because you're going back to slavery. And I just said, dude, I talked to mom, pop, aunts, uncles, cousins who lived during segregation, who wasn't allowed to do shit, who's still alive today. And you talking about slavery. We don't even have to have a conversation because you cut off and you don't want to understand. You know what I'm saying? We're just talking about three to four generations back. I'm saying, I'm 57 years old. I'm at the end of segregation. I know, I recognize. I remember going down south with my papa. He said, you can't go there, you can't go there. I remember that shit. So who the hell are you to say, hey, we're going to take away what happened during the slaves or whatever? What are they going to do next? Take away what happened during redlining and segregation? You not for me. You tribal. That's what drives you. You don't want your kids to be affected by what your ancestors did. And when I say your ancestors, do not talk to me about your great. I'm talking about your grandfather. You feel what I'm saying? Your grandfather. He would say, well, we ain't going back to the slavery times. No, then let's just go back to your grandfather. You know what I'm saying? Now, where is your argument? You go way back there because you don't want to understand. You take out all the black history and all the things that happened because you don't want your kids to be affected by that. But guess what my kids are going to be affected by that happens to all of us? Hey, my best friend Tommy called me a nigger. And I, as a black father, have to explain to my son how to navigate that bullshit. You feel what I'm saying? That ain't slavery time. That's today. That's even up to this very point. And I would venture to guess when my grandbaby started going to school and she have a white friend, she gonna be called a nigger. But you want to take away the history so your child won't be affected by this shit. You're a hypocrite and you're tribal and you're racist. So miss me with the bullshit. Miss me with it. You cannot explain that to me. You cannot explain my history. You cannot take away or dispel or take my history away from me. Because at the end of the day, while you trying to make your kid not be affected from it, I have to make sure my child adjusts to your child's bullshit. Coming from you as a parent. Which just goes back as far as 3 generations. So all the stuff going on that's happening, that they're taking away and they changing and they trying to do whatever to make your child feel better, I have to prepare my child for the bullshit that I went through. So are you erasing my history? At 57 years old? Miss me with that bullshit. And I'm going to take care of mine, and you keep lying to yours. And that's my segment.
No doubt, no doubt. E, great, man. Let me tell you, all 3 of you guys, and including Chris, let me tell you, when I say, and you know I don't hand this shit out, great fucking takes on your perspective, man, because that's what it's about. Period.
I just thank you fellas for the opportunity, man.
That's what it's about.
That's real.
This is Strong Perspective Podcast. Damon
What's up, bro?
and Jaquari and E. If y'all was fucking cooking, y'all put your foot up in that motherfucker with the toe jam and all of that. Great job, man. It's real. No, I'm not
You said the
bullshit.
toe jam. Did that spoil the pot?
Toe jam. You hear me?
What grandma said, get your ass out of here with your shoes on.
Yeah. Fishing all the goddamn meat out the spaghetti.
What are you doing? Ham hocks ain't supposed to be just bone. God damn it. Get your ass out of here.
Hey,
But-
gentlemen,
Go ahead, Jaquari.
gentlemen, I must sincerely beg your pardon for forgetting the questions. You know, like my daddy used to say, my mind ain't long as a pistol click. So
Hey, look, you got a great motherfucking moderator, man. I was like, I'm tap dancing like, oh, hey, ha, who, ha. You ain't
Keith.
forget no questions, man. Go ahead with that, man. Stop that. Look, this is Strong Perspective Podcast, man. And what we're about real conversations. We're about conversation with people. You know, everybody matters, but we also got the majority of people that matter. We're about talking about how we feel, our perspectives, and who we are. Period.
You got to be honest about that, bro.
You know, because that's what we do. That's the whole thing. I'm gonna tell you, if Enoch Holloway Jr. come up on this motherfucker, now I'm gonna keep it I'm gonna keep it a buck. If he come up on here, that's some real shit. Jaquari, if you stay interested, Damon, if you stay interested, I know I'm doing something right by bringing y'all the fuck on this. I'm serious.
I really
I respect your passion, bro, but that felt kind of like a
Right.
jab or
You
something.
don't know how to take that.
Oh, take this. Take it like this. See, look, ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about to alpha males. So, of course, if I don't stroke the ego before I do it, all I'm saying was it's gratitude, man.
Goddamn
It's
right.
gratitude that you coming on and giving your point of view and the
Goddamn
fact
right.
that you want to show up for it. It has nothing to do with it's not the
right.
the grinning.
Hey,
grinning.
hey, like my brother Jaquari do.
I'm not trying to
So leave with that, brother.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
I'm sitting over here like, the fuck you mean I ain't pretty? Motherfucker. Shit.
Hey, look, what you say? Give me mine.
Yeah.
Hey, give me mine. Fuck that. No, but for real though. No, this is real. You know, all jokes aside, you know, this was a great episode. And the thing about it is, I expected it to be that way. You know, Chris, we're gonna bring you back.
Yeah.
We're gonna bring you back. But let me tell you something. You knew that you know the boss had some shit planned for you, and you're gonna play us like that. But that's okay. You my guy, you the home team, and we're gonna ride with you.
I don't got no problem. I don't got no problem with him keeping peace in his house, man.
That's it.
Absolutely not.
Look, that's our goal. That's our goal.
Enough said.
You know what I'm saying? So
Enough said.
this Strong Perspective Podcast, and please go to our YouTube channel because this is a movement. I need you folks to understand. This is a movement. We're getting ready to do. Look, people, I don't want you to be the people who say, yo, I followed them and da. No, we are what we are. This is promoting conversation with everyday people who actually move everything. Everyday people move everything. We pay attention to everything. We promote everything because we give you our attention. It's real. So, Enoch Holloway, you know you reoccurring. You our guy. Thank you very much, sir.
Appreciate you, bro.
Damon, Jaquari, thank you. You know how we do. Chris Dickens, thank you, sir.
Hey man, he wanted part 2, bro.
No. Thank you for giving me the energy. No, having to come up with the energy to pull you back to from the dark side.
Mm.
But Chris, you know you're gonna come back on, and we're gonna enjoy this thing. This Strong Perspective podcast. Please go to our YouTube channel, subscribe to our joint, and if you need to come on, if you have something to say, and we're Facebook friends, message me. You can come on anytime. Tell me what you want to talk about, and we got you. But thank you for coming on, Malika. Love you, baby. Love you, cuz. Thank you for chiming in. We appreciate
sis.
you.
Definitely.
I can't see who else was on, but we had like 3 or 4 other people coming on. But thank y'all too for this Strong Perspective podcast. E, any last words, E?
Fellas, I appreciate you. Just thank you for the opportunity, man. I appreciate it.
No doubt. Thank you. Thank you, brother. This Strong Perspective podcast, and good night.
Good night.